I just had my birthday a few days ago. I'm 17 now, and throughout last year, I've gone through a bunch of ups and downs, wins and lessons, challenges and tortuous roads. From competing to become the student union to fighting the agony of heartbreak, I've certainly learned a lot from the plentiful of experiences that reshaped me completely as a man. I've become more disciplined, indefatigable, more calm, determined, and in general, a better man. And I hope you can learn from my experiences and avoid the mistakes I've made along the way. Without further ado, here is part 1 of the top 10 lessons I've learned as a 16-year-old. Lesson 1. Do it now. There is power in now. I haven't read the book, but I will go read it. It doesn't... Your actions matter now, not later. Your actions matter now, not later. Let me talk about... The first part will be more focused on the experiences and lessons I've learned during the days of running for the student union. So as the leader of the cabinet, I had to do a lot of tasks. I had to delegate tasks to my teammates. I had to write up documents, our agendas, our plans for the school, our advertising plan. We have to find the cheapest places to buy our advertising materials, etc., etc. The biggest mistake during the preparation phase, and that led to the disadvantage of our cabinet, is that the delay of our tasks. I kept delaying our tasks because I thought we had a lot of time, and oftentimes I had this plan in my head. Okay, well, we're gonna buy memo paper, we're gonna buy memos, we're gonna buy folders, we're gonna buy banners, and we ended up buying them a week before the advertising period started, which caused a lot of problems, like running out of materials to give out, because we bought it from Taobao, and during the time was the height of pandemic, and they kept delaying our products. They didn't come. And so we had a problem where the other team was completely set. They have all the things they need to give out. And they had this, and the biggest problem, they have this giant banner on the side of the school. And we didn't have ours because they bought it from Hong Kong while we bought it from Taobao, and ours was delayed. And now they have this big ass cool banner and we don't. And that caused certainly a lot of problems. And these memos didn't even arrive until very late during the advertisement period. And it certainly gave us a lot of problems when we were advertising. And another problem, because of my laziness, and not doing it now, is that the tasks end up just bunching up at the end of the deadline, because we keep delaying it. I keep delaying it, and then it start bunching up and just stacking. The workload kept stacking on, and eventually, when I have to deal with it, there's this massive workload that I have to clear. My table is filled with papers, and it is agonizing to work until like 5 a.m. in the morning. And not only that, the quality of the work is garbage. Like that one time I had to make 2 videos in a day, and the last video I made was completely garbage. Our advertising video, I had no time to edit it. I worked until 5 a.m. in the morning, couldn't deal with it anymore. And of course we end up losing to the other team because they had a better video. So there is power of executing your plan immediately, right now. Because if you don't execute your plan right now, not only you might forget about the plan, or you forget the details of the plan, maybe that the reason why it is so great. The workload will also bunch up at near the deadline, and you have to deal with it all together at once, which is not a fun thing to do. So that is the first lesson. Do it now. If you have a plan, Don't wait for later. Complete it right now. Because you'll either not do it, you'll forget about it, or you have to deal with it. And these three things are not favorable, definitely. So lesson number 2. Responsibility always comes first. You can't not feel like it if it is your duty. Undeniably, the work I had to do as the president of my cabinet is tiring, fatiguing, and my mental health really took quite the blow during that period because I barely got enough sleep. I had to deal with so many stress, arguments, problems left and right coming from different directions. It is certainly stressful. And because of this negative emotion, I often end up not doing what I'm supposed to do. Like this one time, not this one time, it's quite a lot of times. I just wake up late because I didn't feel like it. I was too tired. And I tell my teammates, oh, I'm gonna come join you guys in advertisement later. I just overslept, like a dumbass. I'm the president of the cabinet, and I'm arriving late because I'm not feeling like it. We had to wake up early because we had to arrive to school and prepare for our daily advertisements very early before anyone arrived at the school. We would stand and line up near the entrance, and then we'll shout our quotes and stuff. Support Cabinet 1 type of deal early in the morning when people are arriving to school. And sometimes I would arrive late because I'm not feeling like it. I'm too tired. I just edited a video. I can't do that. I know that I lost a lot of respect from my teammates because I acted like this. I mean, everyone's tired. It's not just you, right? And so, as the team leader, you have to put your responsibilities first. You can't not feel like doing your duty. I mean, it is your duty after all. Because it is not just about you, it is about the entire team. And you can't drag your entire team down just because you don't feel like it. And so responsibility always comes first. Lesson 3. You can only make the best move even in the worst situations. This is a very, very important and crucial takeaway after the complete failure during the debate with the opposition, the opponent. And the thing is that the story is there's this guy on the other team, which is really, really good at debating. He's confident, his points are well put together, and he is bashing us left and right because we had no experience in debating. And of course we're panicking. We're shitting ourselves because the cheers after they finished their speech was so loud, and it seems like we are completely in a disadvantaged position and they're completely destroying us. And that made me panic and made us panic. If I knew what I now know, I would have took a deep breath, analyzed the situation. Okay, so he is completely whooping our ass and we're losing support. What should we do? So here's the thing, right? If I really took the time to analyze and take action to save this, to make the best move in this disadvantaged position, in this position of disadvantage, I would have done one thing, and that is, look, there's this guy who is really good at debating, but the rest of their people, they didn't have experience as well. And because here's the thing, the other team, there's only this one guy who is really good at debating, but the rest, they're just shaking. They're shaking when they're just asking the question. The president of the other cabinet, I think it was the vice president of the other cabinet. She was shaking when just asking the question. When they're challenging us, she was shaking. So obviously, it's just that one guy. I should have just directed my question to specific departments of their cabinet and watch them crumble under stress while we get back some of our confidence, because our confidence was crippled by that one guy. And I should have really analyzed the situation. Just look at the chessboard of this debate, and go like, fuck, I'm losing. What is the best move I can do right now? And of course, we end up completely fucking up the debates, and that was the major cause of our defeat. We lost. We ended up losing the election by 3%. We could have definitely destroyed them, even if we got equal support after the debate. We would have destroyed them. But because we fucked up during the debate, we lost most of our support, and we end up losing by 3%. And this is why, even in the worst situations, you shall not panic. You should analyze the situation and see, even in a shit position, you have to make the best move, because that's the only thing you can do, and that is the only thing you can save yourself. That's number 3. Number 4. Every moment should be productive. During my entire grade 11, because I'm grade 11 now, I didn't have much time. It's not just when I was running for the student union. I didn't have a lot of time in general. And we all have the same 24 hours. We all have the same 24 hours, you know that. But some people can do so much in those 24 hours a day and become 10 times more successful than others. Why? I saw this analogy of the jar, where they put rocks inside, and then you put marbles, and it looks like it's full, and then you pour the sand in, and it looks like really full, but then you pour water in, and can still hold more shit. And that is the analogy for time management, where there is always some room for you to be productive in your day. Perhaps you're on the train, you're commuting to school, to work, whatever. You could use that time to study. You can use that time to learn a new skill, watch some tutorial YouTube videos. You could listen to an audiobook instead of just blasting music in your ear. You can meditate to get yourself ready for the day. You can do so much things in those 15 minutes that it took for you to transport. During transport, there's always time to work, and there's always time to prepare for work. It doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your sleep. It doesn't mean that you skip workouts. It doesn't mean that you should not learn, because those things are also considered productive. When I say productive, it means that you're not wasting your time doing things that won't upgrade yourself, that those things that don't lead to self-improvement. So every moment should be productive. And not only will that make you a better person, that also saves you time. Perhaps you have a big task, a big project coming up. Maybe it is a school project. Okay, you need to work on PPTs about a certain topic. Oh, it's a physics topic about astronomy. Bam. Okay, so what can you do during commute? You could look up papers, look up the maths, and then at school, when the teacher's talking shit, you could do some calculations yourself. Do some calculations yourself, or finish some homework, some revision, some other things that clog up your time, right? And then you go back home, and then you can edit your PPT, do more calculations, and bam, you can finish your task more effectively while not sacrificing your sleep. So every moment should be productive, and it is so important in your self-improvement journey that you don't waste your time. The last lesson of part 1, it will be this: keeping promises should be your metric of success. Your mind is iron, your promise is steel. People often make big promises. They say big things. Oh yes, I'm going to be jacked. I'll be shredded. I'll become rich. I'll get a lot of money. But the problem is they never act on these vague promises, and they never reach this level of success that they want, and they end up being miserable. Of course you're miserable. You haven't even completed your promises yet. Of course you're sad. They say these big words and they never acted on them, and now they question why they're sad. So keeping promises should be your metric of success, because on your self-improvement journey, you often tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna do this thing which will improve my life, and if you don't act on it, well, you'll never become better. You'll never self-improve. And so you have to, well, not only complete your promises, not only keep your promises, you'll have to make your promises clear. It has to be actionable. You know what time you have to finish it by. You have to have a deadline, or you're never gonna do it. You have a deadline. You have step-by-step plan, so you know what to do, and you know the final goal. So keeping promises should be your metric of success. If your word is iron, then whatever you say will be your reality. Like I will say, okay, I'll become jacked. I will work out every day at the gym. I'll do physical activity every single day. And if your word is iron, your promise is steel, then you'll go do it and you will become jacked. So there's power in keeping your promises, because now what you say becomes reality. You see how powerful this is. So if you want to become successful, if you want to measure the amount of success you have in your self-improvement journey, keeping your promises should be the metric to calculate how successful you are. And in this world of competition, it's understandable to compare with other people. But other people have different genes. They have certain backgrounds that you don't have, certain talents. You're all different. It is natural for someone to be better at something that you're worse at, and you are better at something that they are worse at. And so the easiest way to measure your success is by your promises that you have fulfilled. This is the first part of the top 10 lessons. I hope this has helped you. Now be sure to check out the second part.